Diversity FM. It's what your radio was built to play. The Silent Mark Radio Show. Who's Silent Mark?
Is there anything you can actually say on air what you've got coming up?
Yeah.
Rebellion Festival.
Rebellion Festival's probably the biggest thing coming up.
Good stuff.
Blackpool, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th of August.
I don't know, the Dead Pets.
Yeah,
That's
Dead
quite
Pets, playing with the Dead Pets. Playing with MC Lars, as we were saying before.
Yep.
Nice and Sleazy Festival in Morecambe, that's local. Should all go to that.
Yeah, it's good fun.
We've played... I don't know if you have, you might have been in hospital.
No,
you were in hospital for about a year.
Yeah.
Not going to ask.
Oh, no, do. It's an interesting story.
It's not that interesting.
Is it one that we can say on air?
Yeah.
Go on then.
I just mashed my leg up and, well, I had to keep going back in because I got an infection. And
I think his most impressive is we played with Random Hand at Lancaster Uni. He was dancing to Random Hand,
right.
And his leg snapped in the middle of the dance floor.
That's just unpleasant.
It hurt. I thought someone had kicked me, so I looked for someone to hit, and then realised what had happened and went to ground and kind of crawled out of the pit.
But he did play probably 9 out of 10 gigs we had whilst he had a broken leg.
That's not bad.
I mean, imagine seeing someone with a
full length
foot on,
yeah.
a full-length plaster on with a foot-long pink Mohican with crutches standing on stage playing guitar. It certainly got us a lot of interest, didn't it?
It's a sight to see. Right, you're going to play another song?
Yeah, why not?
Go on, what do you want to play?
This song's called Corrupt Authority. It's also on the album. All the tracks we'll be playing are on the album.
Buy the album.
Buy the album, yes. Once again, £5 off our MySpace. Anyway, let's get on with it. This song's called Corrupt Authority.
Authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be. There's no justice, no freedom, we're losing all control of our nation, our country, our one united goal. We're knocked down, we're shut down, we're gone behind our back. We're ignored us, control us as the skies are turning black. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be, wanna be, wanna be, wanna be. In the silence, we speak up to make our voices heard. In the city, we stand up, cast out with every word. When the leaders take control, they're burning down this town. We'll riot, we'll break out, then all will hear a shout. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be. Everywhere we look in this world is a nation controlled by the state. There's no individuality, there's no freedom, and there's no standing up for what we believe. And this is the sound of revolution calling out to you. And this is the sound of revolution calling out to you. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we wanna be. In our corrupt authority, we're screaming out so you can see just who we wanna be, just who we want to be.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
That song was
Corrupt Authority.
Good stuff.
And I had a text a few minutes ago. It goes out to my dad and Colin at his work.
Hello, Dad and Colin at work.
He wanted something dedicating to him. But whilst we're on the subject of that, this band wouldn't have happened without my dad.
Oh no, not
At all. Before
Biggie
anyone
is a
could
legend.
drive, he'd drive us hundreds of miles around the country. You know, he'd be up at 6 o'clock the next morning for work, but he'd still drive us all around the country.
Yeah,
So
Iggy the legend.
he's given
Without
us
a
advice,
doubt.
helped us, come in and produced us,
Shouted at us.
shouted at us, told us where we're going wrong, told us we're not practicing enough, told us we're not dressing right. But he's
Yeah.
not our manager.
No,
He's not.
He is not. No, he's
contrary
never.
to popular belief.
He's never got. He's given us advice. He's
Yeah.
never got involved with writing songs or anything like that. He's left us. He's left us to all of that ourselves. But
Yeah, but the amount of times people have turned up at gigs and walked up to him and said, "Oh, are you the manager of the band?"
more often than not, though, they
No,
think he's a
yeah.
bouncer, don't they?
That as well, yeah.
They think he's a bouncer most of the time. He's been asked that a few times.
Well, it's because he dresses in black with his big black
Yeah.
coat. And
But yeah, for any of the older listeners, he was actually in bands around here in the 70s.
interference.
Interference, whose album may be getting released.
Really?
Yes.
Cool.
There's a lot of demand for that. No, I can't say anything else about that yet.
Wasn't he in Natural Science?
He was as well.
Yeah, supported the Clash.
That was an interference though, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah. Sorry, Dad, if you're still listening. You don't like me using you as a claim to fame that you supported the Clash and that my mother stood next to Joe Strummer watching you play. But
You're name dropping.
yes,
Nice.
and he did a John Peel session, which is even if we have had Radio 1 play, but not a John Peel session, which we will sadly never be able to do.
Yeah, that won't happen
That won't happen.
unless something miraculous happens.
No.